Hello everyone, welcome back to our Solidworks course. In this video, we would be starting with a new module. And as you can read here on the screen, the name of the new module says, let's say in the first case, you've been sent a 3D model or rather any component that has been generated in Solidworks and you need to work on it further. But before you work on it further, you've opened it and you've noticed that there are some random errors and warnings that Solidworks is showing you. It could be with the features or with the sketches. In the second case, let's say you're trying to repair or rather make some sort of design changes in your 3D model. And any sort of a change that you have created has created an error in some other feature. So these are the two conditions wherein there would be some errors and warnings that would be generated by Solidworks. How do we rectify these warnings? We would be learning in this module. I guess that's enough for the talking. We can move to Solidworks and learn about rectifying our geometries. Once we are into Solidworks, let's first create a new component. And once the component has been created, hello everyone, welcome back to our Solidworks course. In this video, we would be starting with a new module. And as you can read here on the screen, the name of the new module says repairing geometries. Before we move any further, let's first understand in what scenarios does the need for repairing geometries arise. Let's say in the first case, you've been sent a 3D model or rather any component that has been generated in SolidWorks and you need to work on it further. But before you work on it further, you've opened it and you've noticed that there are some random errors and warnings that SolidWorks is showing you. It could be with the features or with the sketches. In the second case, let's say you're trying to repair or rather make some sort of design changes in your 3D model. And any sort of a change that you have created has created an error in some other feature. So these are the two conditions wherein there would be some errors and warnings that would be generated by Solidworks. How do we rectify these warnings? We would be learning in this module. I guess that's enough for the talking. We can move to Solidworks and learn about rectifying our geometries. Once we are into Solidworks, let's first create a new component. And once the component has been created, we will now move ahead and create a sketch. Let's say on the front plane. I click on the front plane, go to the sketch mode, and let's say I create a center rectangle, something like this. I will get into the smart dimensions mode and give it some dimensions. Let's say 100 millimeters by 50 millimeters. Once I have done this, you can see that now my sketch is fully defined. But there is no error over here. So we will add the error by ourselves. Let's say here I add another dimension. Now once I have added this dimension, you can see that this text box has been shown over here. It is asking me if I want to make this dimension driven. And by default, this option has been selected that says make this dimension driven. But as we want to create an error, I will simply select this option that says leave this dimension driving. If I click on OK, now what has happened over here that these two dimensions are trying to define the similar set of entities, which has overdefined a sketch, which can be seen over here by this warning. Now, if you want to repair this sketch, in this case, we know that this dimension is extra and it is supposed to be deleted. But let's say there is a sketch wherein there are a lot of dimensions and sketch relations, and there you don't know which action is supposed to be taken in order to define your sketch. In that case, what you would be doing is that you would be simply clicking on this text over here that says overdefined. Once you click on it, it launches the Sketch Expert. In the Sketch Expert, we have this option that says diagnose. If I click on diagnose over here, it will diagnose all the required solutions. First, it will diagnose this problem over here, and it will try to find all the required solutions, which would be shown over here. In this case, 6 solutions have been created in order to resolve this sketch over here. Now we are in the first one. This shows me that a sketch relation that is horizontal should be removed. The same would be shown here in the graphics area. you can see a red line making a slash on the horizontal sketch relation, telling me that if I remove this horizontal sketch relation, this sketch or rather this entity or rather this overdefined problem would be solved. If I move ahead and take a look at the second solution, it tells me that I have to remove this vertical sketch relation, which would be helping me to solve this issue. The third one tells me that this horizontal sketch relation should be removed, which can help you to solve this problem. The fourth one over here says that if you remove this dimension, that is delete this dimension, this sketch would again be resolved. In our case, we know that this is the problem. Either of these dimensions should be removed. Next, again over here, it is showing me that you can remove this dimension, which is the same as the before, and it will resolve your sketch. The last option over here says that if you remove this vertical dimension over here, you can now edit, or rather you can now move forward with your sketch, which will be fully defined. But in our case, I will go back and select this fifth option over here. In order to execute this change, I simply have to click on accept, and once I click on OK, you can see that that dimension was removed. Once that dimension was removed, you can see that again our sketch is fully defined and ready to be used. Next, I will go to features over here and extrude this sketch. I will extrude this from the mid plane for, let's say, a distance of 150 millimeters. I will click on OK and generate this extrude. I will press Ctrl 7 to set it into the isometric mode. Now that you know how to resolve these overdefined sketches, let's move forward and learn about some functions or other tools that would be helpful in creating some changes. The first one here is this tool that says Instant 3D. In order to activate Instant 3D, I simply have to click on it. Now the name over here is again self-explanatory. It helps you create changes in your 3D model instantly. Now let's say if I click on this space over here, you can see that there are several options that have been popped up. The first one that I would be showing you here is that if you zoom in over here, you can see that there is a blue dot over here. What this blue dot will do is that I will zoom out first, and if I select this dot, click on it and pull it away, you can see that it is creating changes in your 3D model instantly. You can accommodate whatever changes you want directly in your 3D model by using Instant 3D. You can specify any surface or any face to be moved using Instant 3D. You can see here now that I have clicked on this face, it is showing me an arrow over here, telling me that I can pull this face away. It could be done with this arrow, or it could be done with this dot over here, like this. It works in the similar way. Also here you can see that this white dot over here shows the origin for this body, which was at the center of the body. Here we have two arrows telling us that we can move this body around this origin. If I click on this arrow and try to move it up, you can see that first it is asking me for a move confirmation. Here it is asking me if I want to delete or keep the references or relations that I have added. If I want to move the body, I will have to select delete the references. Once I have deleted the references, you can see that now my body is free to move about its origin. You can drag it in the upwards or in the sidewards direction in order to move it. This was all for Instant 3D. Now let's move ahead and take a look at our next feature. For that I will go to the Sketch tab over here, and the next feature that we would be taking a look at is Instant 3D. It works in the similar way but in 2D entities. For that, first I will right click on Boss Extrude, go to Edit Sketch, press Ctrl 8, and once we are into the sketching mode, what I will do is that I will simply switch on Instant 2D. Once I click on Instant 2D, it would be activated. Now here I have to specify the dimension that I would be modifying. Let's say if I click on this dimension, here again we have two blue dots that would be generated. If Instant 2D is on, you can see that these two blue dots disappear. Again I will turn on Instant 2D and it works in the similar way as Instant 3D. I simply have to just drag these dots in for the direction or the distance that I want, and here you can see that now this distance has been made to 70. If I select this dimension over here, again two dots have been shown. I just have to simply move this around so that I add the dimension that I want. Wherever you want, you can place it over here and it will simply move to that dimension. You don't have to click on it and then change it. This is just helpful when you're creating sketches and you want it to happen quickly. Now I will create an extrusion with this dimension. I will press Ctrl Q, rebuild the part, exit the sketch, press Ctrl 7 and get into the smart dimension mode. Now let's say if you want to create a hole over here, rather a circular cut over here. What I have to do is that I will have to first click on the surface. I will make sure that instant 2D is off. I will go to features and make sure that instant 3D is off. Now once we have turned them off, here I will be showing you what we would be doing next. Let's say if I want to create a circular sketch on this face. For that, what I would do is that I will click on it and then go to sketch mode and then sketch on it. But what if I told you you can skip all of these steps and then create a sketch directly? Sounds fun, right? Let's take a look how we do it. Here I go to sketch and make sure rapid sketch is on. Then I simply select the face on which I want to sketch. Here I can again simply select this circle over here, make sure rapid sketch is on, and once the rapid sketch is on, you can see that we have now entered our sketch mode without clicking on it and then going into the sketch mode. Let's say I want to create a circle right from the center. This was all of it. Now let's say I want to create a sketch on some other face. For that I would have to exit the sketch and again create a new sketch. No. For that I simply have to move my cursor over the surface where I want to create my sketch. Let's say this is the surface over here. I will create a sketch over here like this, and now you can see once I am moving my cursor over this face, you can see that now a plane is being shown which is coincident to this face, and now if I click on it, it would now start creating a circle on this face over here like this. Let's say I want to create a circle or rather a new sketch on this. Let's say for that I select a center rectangle, I move my cursor on this face, and now I create another sketch over here like this. This is how you can create multiple sketches on the go without shifting planes and doing all of that hassle. If I click on OK, here you can see that I have created 3 sketches in one go. I didn't have to shift faces or planes in order to create these sketches. This is how I have created all of them. If I move my cursor on these, you can see that this is how, or rather the entities that are on these faces have been created. If I exit the sketch, all of these 3 sketches would be created on these planes, and I can create any sorts of command that I want with them. Let's say if I want to create a hole with this sketch, I will click on this sketch, go to features, select extruded cut, and then from here I will mention my end condition as through all, click on OK, and here it was so easy to create this cut. I hope all the features that were taught to you in this video were clear. I will see you in the next video with an exercise. We will learn more about creating repairs and creating design changes. I hope you had fun. See you in the next one. Thank you.